is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Daniel, chapter 5, verses 1 to 6, 13 to 14, 16 to 17, and 23 to 28. King Belshazzar gave a great banquet for 1,000 of his lords, with whom he drank. Under the influence of the wine, he ordered the gold and silver vessels which Nebuchadnezzar, his father, had taken from the temple in Jerusalem, to be brought in, so that the king, his lords, his wives, and his entertainers might drink from them. When the gold and silver vessels taken from the house of God in Jerusalem had been brought in, and while the king, his lords, his wives, and his entertainers were drinking wine from them, they praised their gods of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone. Suddenly, opposite the lampstand, the fingers of a human hand appeared, writing on the plaster of the wall in the king's palace. When the king saw the wrist and hand that wrote, his face blanched, his thoughts terrified him, his hip joints shook, and his knees knocked. Then Daniel was brought into the presence of the king. The king asked him, "Are you the Daniel, the Jewish exile, whom my father, the king, brought from Judah? I have heard that the Spirit of God is in you, that you possess brilliant knowledge and extraordinary wisdom. I have heard that you can interpret dreams and solve difficulties. If you are able to read the writing and tell me what it means, you shall be clothed in purple, wear a gold collar about your neck, and be third in the government of the kingdom." Daniel answered the king, "You may keep your gifts or give your presents to someone else, but the writing I will read for you, O king, and tell you what it means. You have rebelled against the Lord of heaven. You had the vessels of his temple brought before you, so that you and your nobles, your wives, and your entertainers might drink wine from them. And you praised the gods of silver and gold, bronze and iron, wood and stone, that neither see, nor hear, nor have intelligence. But the God in whose hand is your life, breath, and the whole cause of your life, you did not glorify. By him were the wrist and hand sent, and the writing set down. This is the writing that was inscribed: Mene, Tekel, and Peres. These words mean, Mene, God has numbered your kingdom and put an end to it. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Peres, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 12 to 19. Jesus said to the crowd, "They will seize and persecute you. They will hand you over to the synagogues and to prisons, and they will have you led before kings and governors because of my name. It will lead to your giving testimony. Remember, you are not to prepare your defense beforehand, for I myself shall give you a wisdom in speaking, that all of your adversaries will be powerless to resist or refute. You will even be handed over by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but not a hair on your head will be destroyed. By your perseverance, you will secure your lives." The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, being a disciple of Christ is not easy because Christ demands us to leave everything behind and to follow Him. In other words, He invites us to have a Christ-centered life. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, when we follow Christ by leaving everything behind, by having Him at the center of our lives, there will be an opposition from these worldly people because they have so many other things and so many other people at the center of their lives. Some people, they have money at the center of their lives. Others, they have power at the center of their lives. Some others, they have oneself at the center of their lives, and they have egoistic desires and selfish interest. All these things are at the center of their lives. Therefore, they oppose and they act against Christ's followers because they see that Christ's followers, they have Jesus Christ at the center of their lives. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, that is why in today's gospel, Jesus very clearly says, when you follow me, there will be a great opposition from the part of your own family members. They will oppose you, they will persecute you, they will speak against you because they have so many other things and so many other people at the center of their lives. Whereas we, the followers of Christ, we have Christ at the center of our lives. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, therefore, persecutions, suffering, and rejections await the followers of Christ. But still for all, Jesus says, do not be afraid, because you must not prepare yourself beforehand. What are you going to say before them? Because I will give you words of wisdom. Jesus assures us His continual presence with us in facing these challenges, persecution, sufferings, and rejection. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, this is what we see in the lives of the believers of the primitive church. Starting from St. Stephen, first martyr, in the life of St. Peter, St. Paul, and all the other Roman martyrs and thousands of martyrs who laid down their lives for the sake of faith, we see Jesus was with them. Jesus gave them words of wisdom, and Jesus gave them courage to witness for the truth and to lead a life where Jesus is at the center of their lives. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today the Holy Catholic Church celebrates the feast of these martyrs of Vietnam, Andrew Dun Lac and companions. Even they had Christ at the center of their lives. The people of their society, they have so many other egoistic purposes at the center of their lives. That's why they killed these Vietnamese martyrs. But they had that courage to face those persecutions as well as to lay down their lives because Christ was with them. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, even today we see that Catholics are targeted by everyone because they see kind of a difference in our lives. Therefore, there will be opposition from the part of worldly people towards Catholics. But let us always remember that while having Christ at the center of our lives, while following Christ, Christ is going to give us the necessary strength and the courage to face these challenges in witnessing for the truth. Amen.